Sony, sometimes I feel like you know your customer, you know your market, but this is not one of those times. Welcome, everybody. So, what's got my pistol boiled today? Well, Sony recently released PlayStation Now for the US for PCs. Now, what PS Now essentially is that you can stream PS2 and PS3 games over the cloud to either your PS4 device or now PC, which is kind of cool. It means you don't need to own a PS3 anymore. You have to stream. You do have to pay like rental fees. And, you know, it's not in the great stages right now, but it's getting better. And it'll definitely be interesting to see where that goes in the future. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about today. To coincide with the release of that, and to also boost, you know, people using the PS4 to PC streaming functionality, they recently released this guy. So this essentially would let you, this dongle would let you connect your DualShock 4, as you'd imagine, to your PC, right? Pretty simple stuff. And it works, but only with PlayStation Now and PS4 remote streaming. So Sony, when you made this thing, you didn't think, hey, maybe PC gamers want an official adapter. They don't want to have to download software to get their DualShock 4s working wirelessly with their PCs. Because that's not what you did. So, for starters, you have to plug this thing in, and then you plug it in even further. You actually have to push it in for it to start singing, because they didn't put a button, because apparently Sony doesn't like buttons. And it syncs the controller. Now, you can play some games, some PC games with this, but it's mainly restricted to PlayStation Now. Essentially what this is that it's a low latency adapter, but just for PlayStation Now and PS4 remote play streaming. If you want to play PC games, well, you're stuck with direct input mode, because it doesn't use X input drivers at all, which is what most games use. X input is Microsoft's format. Basically what it allows you to do is, you know, no fuss, plug in and play, very simple. Direct input was kind of like this, but it was very fidgety most of the time. The other problem with direct input is that a lot of buttons just don't work. So, like if you start up Mortal Kombat with this thing connected via direct input, like punches are kicks and kicks are punches. I'm sorry, that's for Street Fighter, excuse me, or high kicks and low. The buttons are swapped around. When I launched Steam Big Picture Mode, all credit to the controller. When I hit this button right here, it launched Big Picture Mode. But when I tried to use the D-pad, would not work at all. Had to use the analog stick. I don't like using the analog stick when I'm scrolling through all those games. So Sony had this amazing opportunity to say, hey, let's have PC gamers have this official dongle, and they'll pay for it because they did for Microsoft's. Let's have them have this official dongle so they can play all the PC games, and then while they're at it, like, maybe they'll want to play our PS Now games. But no, you didn't decide to do that. And the dumbest thing they've done of all this, like, I mean, yeah, it's one thing to not add that in, but, you know, they never really promised that. They kind of, like, you know, they alluded to that, because, you know, why else would they release a dongle for PC if it's not going to work with all your PC games? But they alluded to that, but it's not false advertising. But what they did that really pisses me off is that one dongle per one controller, meaning if you want to have two controllers, two people playing PS Now games, tough shit. You're going to need to buy another dongle if you want to do it the official wireless way. There's already software online that you can download. You can already get Bluetooth modules just fine. So some might be saying, like, oh, what's the big deal? I wanted something official. I wanted something that'll work a little bit better. I'm having issues with the software on one of my computers. It would have been really nice to just plug this thing in and not worry about it. But it's just really infuriating that Microsoft has their dongle, which again is $25, which I'm not a fan of paying for. It's bigger too. But guess what? I think you could hook up to 8 controllers to that one dongle. One at a time, guys. It's such a pain in the ass. Like, it's $25. Who is this thing for? People who only play PS4, so someone who has a PS4 controller, obviously playing games with it, so they're going to have to switch back and forth between this and DS4 for Windows, which DS4 for Windows kind of supports this now, but it's still, like, feels like a waste for $25. I shouldn't have to use a third-party piece of software if I want to play PC games with it. I know that wasn't your intent, Sony, but you didn't really market this thing properly then. Anyway, guys, this is kind of a wake-up rant. I was trying to do this all night, but I was so exhausted, and, well, here you go. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, hold on. There you go. Look at the disappointment. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably have a video out later this week. Again, I've just been in recovery mode from working. Finally got a few days off. See you guys next time. So, to get your shit together. I'm out.